Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
All right, we're back again, and that means you are too. Thank you for joining us on this happy spring weekend, and it is a springy, happy weekend, right?
It is.
Can you believe Easter's here already?
I know. Do we sound like our parents, Tom?
Yeah, it's probably.
Remember, like, time, when you get older, time zips by, all these things. But I think they're true.
Yeah, well, it goes by fast, and then you start to cherish every little moment.
I mean, you know how much I hate the winter.
I do.
Yes. But it's gone.
Yeah,
I'm
really
so excited. And I think we appreciate spring and summer and fall way more because winter's.
Yeah. And next week, I think I'm going to be here by myself or with Greg. Because you're going to go take another vacation. This is
the last
what was it, 17
Tom,
vacations
Tom,
so far?
I was working.
Do we have a cap, like 20?
I was working. It just happened to be in Florida. I went I was at a marketing advertising
You barely
conference.
work here now.
Well, I barely worked there. No, I went to I learned some things, how to treat co-hosts.
Sure. Well, that's good. You'll be cruising this time?
Yep, we are going to do a little cruising.
Okay, good.
So hit the islands. I bring my snorkel mask. I just like to swim with the fishes.
Where do you go? Where do you want to go?
We're hitting some different islands.
Is it like the Caribbean type stuff?
Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
They're all kind of the sea. Get off. There's a beach.
Yeah.
You hang out at the beach. You get back on. You eat some more, and then you get on. It happens. A few different islands.
I know my buddy Greg, and of course maybe we'll talk about it on the show. He's going on a cruise, but he's going to do France. He's going down the. What do you call that? French
Riviera?
Yeah, something like that, or
the French River.
Yeah, that river. I forget it because I'm not well traveled.
Yeah, no, I like to swim and put my mask on, and I love swimming in the ocean because you can just see all kinds of things. And
that's great.
So,
yeah, I have a bunch of family members that help people go swimming with the fishes.
I was waiting for that. You didn't let it go.
They go swimming with the fishes. Dr. Nicole Anzalone is here. She's the owner of Syracuse Hearing Solutions. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, hanging right in there. How are your earlids going? People been buying earlids from you?
Yeah. So especially during the better weather, people want to protect their hearing. Their lawnmowers are going, all those power tools are building stuff again. So it's a good time to protect your ears.
Explain quickly what earlids are in case someone missed that.
So earlids are little hearing protection. So they're custom earplugs made for your ears so that they're comfortable. They don't slip out. You can wear them for all sorts of things to protect your hearing.
Okay. Yeah. And you custom make them.
Yes, we make them in-house.
You got cool colors.
Yeah, glitters. Like any color of the rainbow. You can mix and match and swirl and marbleize and do a lot of fun stuff.
No, we haven't talked about your locations in a while. I was just telling you, I'm seeing Dr. Joseph Barry now, and he's just down the road from you out in Camillus of your one office, right? You're just up the road. And you have another office as well.
Yeah, so I just opened my second office in Fayetteville in mid-January. So things are going well. It's nice to be on both sides of town just for convenience. A lot of my patients asked, hey, when are you going to move on the east side of town? So it's nice because it's even closer to home.
So, right. Yeah, you live out that way. That's
yeah.
So, out at the home show a few weeks ago, Tom, we did the show live there, and we were there for the weekend. Dozens of people came up to, so many of them were like, we listen to the show, that's great. But then they also said, and Dr. Anzalone. So we heard all these nice things about you. The question is, are they true?
I hope so. Yeah.
Well, when you think about it, who wants to go get their hearing checked?
No one. Yes, it's really hard to get someone to get their hearing checked.
It's usually out of crisis that they come, right?
Yes. Yeah. The families harass them all the time saying, you've been saying what a lot. You got to go get your ears checked. You need hearing aids. So it's a point of contention with a lot of families and frustrating to say the least. But people, I guess, like to come to us. That's a good thing.
Well, I think no one feels pressured. And that's what I heard. It isn't like, okay, we've got them now.
No.
It's let's start. Let's find out if there's a challenge. Maybe it's just earwax. You shared that a few weeks ago, or whatever. But people were they felt like they got to know you.
Talk about your suite of services. What would somebody typically come in for, and where would you take them? What path would you take them down? Can you talk about that? Or
there's a lot of paths. So we do everything ear related. So from hearing testing, diagnostics, to earwax removal, to hearing protection, to balance testing. So it's all ear related. And depending on what people tell us, we try to get to know the patients, what their needs are, what their history is, what their concerns are about their ears or their balance, their hearing or their balance. And then we go from there in terms of treatment. You know, the important thing is to make sure the patient is treated based on what they need. Whether or not it's hearing difficulties, family frustrations because they're not hearing the television, they're not hearing over the phone. It's also a safety concern as well. And, protecting your hearing so you prevent hearing loss, that's important too, because once it starts going, it's going. There's no going back. And it could also affect cognition. We know all sorts of research on how hearing loss affects, neural degeneration and, cognitive memory loss and things like that. So it's very important to treat right away and don't hold off. So we're trying to get the word out. So it's not too late to do something about it.
We talk about the technology changing. We were chatting the other day and you were like, oh, someone had like 4 or 5 year old hearings. Oh, they're so old. Things have changed so much. So how have they changed? If someone hasn't experienced the latest and greatest, what's changed in the last 4 or 5 years in respects to being able to help people hear?
Yeah. So think about computers. The hearing aids are like little computers now. So they could process speech, process noise, and separate the two so that you could hear better. It gives you more support and background noise. I mean, that's the biggest complaint with hearing loss is hearing and understanding and noise. So they've gotten better in terms of the sound quality. I mean, I listen to some old ones of some patients and new ones, and I'm like, whoa, you need some new ones. These sound completely different and so much better. But of course I have, normal hearing, so it's different for me. But, in terms of what they connect to, being in constant communication with your devices, your phone, your television, your family, they do so much in such a little package now. And they sound so much better and they give so much more support so that people could hear better. We have a lot more flexibility in what we could do to fit the patient. I mean, when you're dealing with damaged ears, they're different. It's not like headphones for everyone. It's not going to sound the same. So you have to adjust the devices to that damaged ear to make sure they hear the best they can. And that's what we tried to do. And that's what we're good at.
Has AI worked its way into the modern,
artificial intelligence. Yes. So what's coming down the pike, and there's a lot of talk of it, is recognizing familiar voices. So the hearing aids can sample the sound environment through the microphones, and then learn a familiar voice. So like your spouse who's standing next to you, walking next to you. And speaking, so it can enhance those sounds over some other sounds. Or block it, yeah. You have that choice with your cell phone. It's like a little remote control. If you don't want to hear the guy next to you, Steve next to you, Tom.
Hey.
You don't want to hear the Steve next to you. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm just kidding. You could kind of pick and choose where the microphones point at a particular person in space.
And I imagine the filtering has gotten so much better. Adobe has a filter, a podcast filter. If I take a noisy room, I'm talking like with traffic right behind you, and you put it into this app, it filters it out with no artifacting whatsoever, and you can have just a beautifully isolated voice and get rid of all the background noise. Right. So that's where things are probably going in that world too. And
extreme noise cancellation. Yeah, it's funny though, because some people don't like that. They feel kind of like plugged in, blocked out.
You want to hear some of that. You
need some ambient sounds to seem more natural.
To hear me.
I love to hear. That's going to wrap things up with her. Hey, Dr. Anzalone, thank you so much for coming by and all you do.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
You have a great rest of the day.
You too.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to be talking with attorney John Murphy, the owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. Stick around for that gripping interview next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.